Hi, I'm Shijie, Jack. Today our group are going to present our research, Cyber Invicility. And we have 7 group members. We are group 3, as you can see. And from the beginning, this research first examines the relationship between independent variables and dependent variables, and then analyzes the factors of employees' behavior on cyber invicility. And we will start from the literature review. The first one is work stress. Stress is very common and people experience it under different conditions and circumstances. Short-term stress can push us to perform above our abilities, but it becomes a problem when the stress persists, which can lead to a decline physical conditions and negative emotional responses when the stress persists for a long time. And the second one is work culture. The culture represents the characteristic and personality of an organization, and it's usually an aggregation of values, traditions, beliefs, interaction behaviors, and attitudes. Workplace culture and financial performance are closely related, will directly affect the performance of employees and thus affect profits. Next one is Siqi.
Thank you, Jack. I will present the third point about the role overload. It occurs when job demands and working conditions exceed an employee's time, engineer, and abilities. So this behavior is increasingly common in the workplace, imposing the emotion cause and the rash of negative effects on organizations. So we follow the RMX model for the research analyzed. The employees who receive more training and encouraging emotional support on RMX are at an advantage, while the lower RMX employees will be easily confined to the roles. For the last point is the employee behavior on step instability. Step instability is defined as a behavior that violates the workplace norms through the interactions on the internet through the electronic device such as the laptops. According to the research, it's known that online supervised behavior is positively correlated with the job burning. The step instability is the negatively correlates with the employee's satisfaction and the performance in the workplace. So the results for our research, the work stress and the role overload possess a positive correlation with the employee's behavior on the step visibility. So the work culture possesses a negative correlation with the employee's behavior on the step visibility. That's all for my part. Thank you.
Good day, my name is Jia Yi, and I'm going to present the methodology. The research design was based on quantitative research, and it implemented a survey research method that collected a total of 91 responses. For the sample design, the participants were targeted based on criteria as shown. This research used non-probability sampling method based on convenience and snowball samplings. Initially, survey questionnaire link was shared with targeted respondents that are nearby to the researchers. This is known as convenience sampling. And then the existing participants were requested to forward the link to people they knew. This refers to snowball sampling. For data collection, this research used 2 types of data. Primary data was collected by distributing the questionnaires created in Google Form, and secondary data was collected from journal articles to develop hypotheses and provide evidence. For data analysis, the data collected were imported to Microsoft Excel to conduct regression analysis. And next, Table 1 and 2 illustrate the demographic characteristics of respondents and job details of respondents respectively by showing frequency and percentage of each item. That's all from me. Let me pass the session to the next presenter. Thank you.
For the hypothesis result, in this study, we use multiply regression to analyze the relationship between the dependent and the independent variables to test our module and the hypothesis. In this regression analysis, we summarize the result of adjust R-square is negative 0.027, which means that the independent variable, work stress, work culture, and the role overlap explain only 3% of the employee behavior on cyber incivility. Through testing, it can be seen that the work stress data equal to negative 0.026, work culture equal to negative 0.12, and the role overlap equal to 0.039. All the p-value is bigger than 0.05. We are not significantly associated with the dependent variable. Soon, we have to reject the H1, H2, also the H3.
A regression analysis was performed on the survey questions and the summary results.
As shown in the figure 2, the analysis about work stress, work culture, and work overload has no significant effect on employee behavior on the cyber incivility. Work stress part. H1, the hypothesis. This study found out that work stress was not associated with employee behavior on the cyber incivility. The stress that employees believe that work stress doesn't significantly affect their work behavior according to the questionnaire survey. 80% of the participants use the other platform as a tool or contact tool, and the use of email is reduced, so the source of work stress cannot be fully represented by email stress. So for the another hypothesis like work culture, the study found out that influence of work culture on employees' behavior on the cyber incivility was not significant. The stress that culture that employees live in does not significantly affect their work behavior. With the development of the times, quality of employees and the leaders has improved. The work culture has become more ethical, so the cyberbullying behavior of employees is less affected by the negative work culture. So for the last hypothesis, role overload, from the result study that role overload also has no significant affect employee behavior on cyber incivility. The stress that employees perceive role overload as not significantly affect their work behaviors. By analyzing the questionnaire statistics and the test results, most of the participants did not perform a lot of overloaded work, thus showing that the work behavior of employees was not significantly affected.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Aiman Mardhiah and I will be presenting about the recommendation that focus on the practical use for practitioners. Firstly, work stress that is mostly related to time-sensitive issue that can have an impact on employees' behavior. Managers can help to reduce stress regarding time-sensitive of replying email issues by providing a guide or educating the employee to include a timely feedback sentence in their respective email to other employees. Secondly, related to work culture in an organization. We recommend human resource manager to apply a method of anonymous feedback gathering by providing a Google link form that can be distributed throughout entire organization. Thirdly, regarding the role overload that employees feel when they are doing their jobs, managers with help of HR managers should create a social support group within each of their respective department by assigning an experienced worker to help other employees. Job sharing option can also be implemented by these managers. Additionally, managers and organization can make a specific template for email replying with do's and don'ts and a formal and clear guideline on email etiquettes. Also, all employees must be educated on how to be civil when sending email to other colleagues. Thank you. I will be passing to the next presenter, Sarah.
Assalamualaikum Doctor, I'm Nurmaisarah and I will be discussing about our suggestion to the future researchers. The first suggestion we can give out is for them to include a bigger set of respondents' data. Secondly is by focusing on the other possible factors and effects of cyber incivility. Next is by utilizing focus group perspective against cyber incivility. The fourth suggestion is to be aware of the respondents' role perception against their job position. Lastly, future researchers need to include a longer time frame. In conclusion, we can see since technology keeps on developing as the time moves forward, it will create a future challenges for all these organizations and future researchers or practitioners. Being alert on what are the other possible factors that can fuel the cyber incivility, it will assist these individuals to evade any of these cyber incivilities that can probably create negative environments for all of the surrounding individuals. Thank you. That's all from me.